Hi everyone, welcome to our next video in the story of precious cats. And we have been having I've been having lots of fun doing our fruit and our cat. I was a bit concerned actually that I wouldn't be able to colour cats, and actually I'm really pleased with how this little one's come out. I've obviously still got the feet to do. It's this one and this one, so I've got the colours that I used for this cat, but it was about 2 days ago, so I'm just hoping I can remember what I did, but I'm gonna have a little go. So this is our almond Castle Arts Gold, and this is the top of the foot here. Look, just going to put a bit of almond there as a sort of base, and here I'm thinking the bottom of the foot might be a little bit darker, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm also not sure how long it is. I think it might just go to there. There's something in here and I'm not sure what it is, so I'm just thinking I'm just going to do the foot there. It wouldn't really be this long, I don't think. Also, yeah, because we have a bit here as well, which I'm thinking I will colour sort of clothing colour. Oops, sorry. So now I have my grey. This is the warm grey light, and I'm going to sort of draw a little bit of fur on. It's not going to show up massively, and I'm going to do a base on the bottom of my foot with this as well. So I'm not sure the bottom of it. Oh, is it furry? I don't really know much about cats. I think it probably is. Davys grey. I'm going to do it furry. So just add in some fur bits, lines. The pad I think might be darker, so I just do that a little bit darker without the fur, and then just put the fur in here. Yeah, I was pleased with how the little cat's face came out. I think it's cute, because I'm not like a cat or a dog person with regards to keeping them as pets. That doesn't stop me thinking that they're really cute, which I do. Particularly cats. I've been seeing lots of little cute cat videos on Facebook and things, and they are really sweet, and these look like sweet little kittens. And I just realised I haven't come in very close. I'm really sorry. So I hope you could see it's really not very different to what I did for the tail and face and paws and things, just the same sorts of colours and things like that. Now we have the nose, and I hadn't done the nose. I'd forgotten, to be honest. I'm not sure what colour. I did have a look on the front of the book at this little cat, and this little cat's got a pink nose, which I think is really cute, so I thought I would do the same thing. So I'm thinking the sepia light might actually be a good colour, because it's a sort of greyish pink. So I'm going to put a really light layer down, because despite it being called sepia light, it can get quite intense. And then I'm just going to build up a bit of colour towards, I'd sharpen it actually. I'm a bit reticent to sharpen this because it's one of my favourites, but we need it to do the job. So a little bit of darker colour around the sort of nostril area, and then down each side, just to give it a little bit of shape like that. There he is. Oh, he's a cutie. Right, now clothing I'm not so sure of. I had a little look and I was thinking, are these like traditional Thanksgiving type clothes? But I wasn't sure about this hat. I didn't think it really was, so I didn't know. So I was looking at what they're wearing. So he's got a sort of shirt, and I'm wondering if this is like a waistcoat with because the collar is quite thick. So I thought I would do the shirt in a light colour and then the waistcoat in a more dark colour, and then match that to the ribbon. So that's what we're going to start with now. So I'm thinking I could just do the shirt in an almost cream colour, because I don't want it to leave it white. It just look like I haven't bothered to do anything. I'm going to grab the Naples Yellow Light. Oops, let's bring him into the middle. There he is. Naples Yellow Light, and just do a little bit and see how it looks really. So just our cuff, it's going to be a little bit darker on the edges. It's going to be a bit lighter here. So I've got a bit of pink on there from the berries, but never mind. So I'm thinking like that. So a bit of lighter there. And then I'm just going to put a layer down on this big sleeve, and then think about where there might be a little bit of shadow. I'm thinking actually it might be better to grab a different colour for the shadow. So I'm thinking, or is this the collar or the edge of a waistcoat, and is this shirt, or is it you know, the tunic? I think I'll do that as a tunic, and I'll just do the sleeves. Hopefully it'll work. If you don't think it will, you can do yours slightly differently if you want to. I'm going to do all the rest of the clothes as tunic. Oh, I'm not sure about this bit, but anyway, we'll get there. So shadows, I'm thinking I want something a little bit darker. I'm just going to have a look at my swatch chart. Now I could go brown, or I don't know, let's try a bit of warm grey light. It's quite a pale grey. It might just work. So under this crease here, see, you put a bit of shadow in there, like that, and then here. I'm just going to work through, popping like in there, popping bits of shadow in, and hoping, oh, the sun keeps going in and out, and hoping that it will just sort of make sense with the way it's drawn. A little bit darker there and there. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one. It's nice doing a bit of autumnal colouring. I'm just hoping, because I've started really early, I'm not going to get a bit bored of autumn colouring before autumn's over. I mean, this book has an autumn section. There's lots of bits in here that aren't like pumpkins or leaves, or, you know, autumn leaves and things like that, so that's great. But you know, I do sort of feel like I should be doing autumn sort of themes for you. But I've got an autumn playlist, so you can go there and have a look at the stuff that I've done in previous years. I'm going to go for a dark brown. I'm thinking almost leathery. Walnut brown light, I think, could be the answer. So I'm going to have a go. Walnut brown light. I'm not going to put it on really dark to start with, because I think it's quite a vibrant colour. I'm just going to see how it goes. But I don't know if I'll get bored of autumn colours. They are so pretty. The sort of leafy, you know, the autumn leafy thing. I'm doing an autumn picture on my own actually now. Had a plumber in today. What a surprise! She had a plumber in. And so I was doing some colouring. Well, I had a to-do list to do while he was here, and colouring wasn't on it, but you know, hey, I did some colouring, and I was colouring a sort of page that I was going to make look autumnal. I don't have to, it's not just trying to think about where it might be darker. We'll see. I'm just going to do the rest and then have a think. So I haven't done the leaves yet, so I could make it less autumnal, but it's rather fun, isn't it? And it takes you away from green for a while. Well, I do a bit of green. Like here we've got lots of green still, even though it's our sort of autumn harvesty page. But I'm just making it a bit darker nearer to his little face, and a bit darker in there. There he is, in all his cuteness. Now if you want to make it look even more furry, you could use a white pen to put in some bits, but because the black fur is drawn in, I think that's enough really to give the furry look. And also, I haven't used particularly dark colours, so if you used a white pen on here, it might not show up. So maybe it wouldn't work for this specific colour scheme. I think I want that to be more intense. So I'm going to grab a darker brown. Let's grab the walnut brown. Listen, I can hear some noise. I think my son is moving around. So this is the walnut brown. So I'm going to do the shadows in the walnut brown. You can see how much deeper they go with that, and a little bit around here too. And then I can make my light walnut brown a bit more intense. So yes, the plumber I had in today was actually fixing a toilet. He So back to our walnut brown light, just intensify it all. Well, you don't have to. I feel like it needs it. He's my sort of regular plumber, and basically the loo was making some strange noises. But when the tank was filling up, you know, the cistern, sorry, it was doing a bit and then stopping, and then a bit and then stopping, and a bit and then stopping, and it was also leaking a bit. So only a teensy weensy bit. So he fixed all that for us, which is good. But I also wanted him to change a waste on a sink because the plug wasn't working. And he bought the plug and everything, but he said he couldn't get to it easily. He would have to have taken my cupboard, under sink cupboard, out to do it. So he didn't want to do that because he said it's just a lot of work for the sake of a little to change a waste. I'm going back in with my walnut brown. Let's draw those shadows back in. This one's quite dark still, but this one here under the whiskers is disappeared a bit, a little bit in here, and then this one as well, a little bit pale. There he is. Now I might put a bit of shadow behind the pumpkin too, just a tad. And maybe on the sleeve. There we go. I'm going to leave him there. But his ribbon, I think I might use this dark walnut brown because I think it's quite masculine. I think he's a boy. You might not. I mean, it doesn't matter. Boys and girls, they can wear whatever colour they like. But I just feel like I want him to have, if he is this sort of old-fashioned, I don't know what the name of them would be, sort of character, I think he would be more traditional in his colours, if that makes sense. So we're going to try and make it a little bit darker, the ribbon a bit darker near the bow, a bit lighter in the middle. It's not really showing up. I'm going to go for dark all the way through. Let's intensify it a bit, get it standing out. So yeah, yesterday, well, I had a busy weekend. I could fill you in with all my comings and goings. So Saturday, Friday, Friday, something happened. Oh, we're getting tidied up, ready for guests on Sunday. And husband went to an open art exhibition, sort of open evening type thing. What do they call it? Preview evening, that's it. So we went to that because his friend was exhibiting, so we went to support him there, and so he did that. And then Saturday we were sort of cleaning, shopping, washing, ironing, all the usual jobs, but because we had some friends coming on Sunday for lunch, it took a little bit longer, but that was fine. It's always nice to have an excuse to get it all looking good, isn't it? There we go, there's his ribbon. I'm going to do his pumpkin now. Now, we're so limited with colours in this set. I'm going to use a cinnamon as the basis for my pumpkin. It's going to be quite dark and different just because I want it to look a bit different. So I'm just going to put a base colour all over in the cinnamon and then work my oranges on top, just so we've got a bit of a different vibe going on, really, just so it looks a little bit different. Can I say the word different again? Different. It's going to be different. We haven't done his trousers. Anyway, we'll sort that out in a minute. Yes, so then Sunday, our friends are, my husband was actually friends with the girl long before he met me, and I'm going to mark in a bit of shadows where I want them, so along the creases or the lines that are drawn on for us. He was friends with her before he met me, and so he's known her for so long, and she's just had a baby, so her and her husband came over to show us their baby, which was lovely. Poor baby kept crying. My husband made her cry, which was quite funny. I'm gonna do these trousers. Is that trousers? I can't work out quite how they're sitting. I'm gonna go for a really dark, I'm thinking, do I go for Mars black? No, I'm gonna go for slate grey, which is a brown, I think. And it doesn't matter if it's not. And just colour in this. I mean, it could be a bit of the shirt, but then we've got a top. I'm a bit confused by the whole thing. I'm just going to do it my own way and have fun with it. And that's the foot you see there. So a little bit there. So this crease here, a bit darker, and then a bit of dark around here, and then that's the foot. I'm just gonna sort of, I'm not really knowing quite what's going on. I'm just gonna sort of fit it in here and here, and it could, because it's dark colour, it could just be shadow, it could be the ground, it could be the trousers. It's just there, vaguely sitting there. I'm just going to leave it. As I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think it'll work. It'll just tie in. You won't notice it because hopefully. Anyway, so our friends came, and yeah, baby kept crying. She seemed a little bit unsettled, but she was only 4 months old, so I can't remember how much mine cried at that age. But they'd had quite a long journey, which I don't think helped. It's our cadmium orange deep, and I'm going to start with these darker areas and just work my way out to the edge of each section. It's a bit blunt, isn't it? And see how we go. Anyway, but it was lovely seeing her and chatting to them and catching up with all their news and things. So that was great. And then father-in-law hasn't seen us since January. We didn't realise this. I was looking on the calendar to check, and the only meet-up date we'd had on the calendar, you know, where I write all our appointments, was July, and we remembered that we'd had to cancel for some reason or another. We can't remember why. It's been so long since we saw him. I'm sure we might have had him and his companion round for lunch, but you know, I just can't remember. So anyway, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just dark and lighter, so more layers here and less as we go out here. So anyway, we had him over. He couldn't bring his companion because she's about to move house, and she had electricians in doing some work on her old house, you know, the one she's sold, before I don't know, I think he said she was taking the light fittings with her or something, and they were taking those out. We don't normally do that, but maybe they were very expensive special ones and she was just having them replaced with sort of cheap standard ones. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't ask him about it, but he came and it was rather nice. The house was already sort of visitor ready because of having our friends over, so we didn't need to do anything much. I'm gonna use a light peach just for a change, if I can find it. There it is, to finish these off. I'm going to go back over everything here, but just try to sort of eliminate the white paper. And as you can see, it's turned out to be a different colour to these, which is the whole plan really. Yeah, he came and we were waiting in for plumbers. We had a plumber visit in the morning, the one that came today, to just look at the job and see what he needed to buy. So that was good. And then he came before father-in-law arrived. Then father-in-law came, we had lunch, and then I realised I hadn't bought any biscuits for afternoon tea. Oh, forget about afternoon tea, because it's not something that we do, but he does. And so me and the boys took him for a walk along the canal to the supermarket, which was fun. He was quite fascinated by the dragonflies and things. And husband stayed home in case the plumbers were early. As we arrived, actually, the plumber came as we got home. Yeah, I think that's fine. Apart from, I want to put a little bit more shadow in. I'm going to grab one of the colours I've got here. I'm thinking, should I try that? I'm going to try the walnut brown. Gently. So yeah, and plumber was having trouble, but with the shower door, we wanted it turned round because it was leaking because it was the wrong way up. And he turned it round and then span it because he couldn't get it to work that way round, so then it opened into the doorway of the bathroom. I was like, I don't want that, because I'm really worried that it would break, which was specifically where I didn't want it to be. I'm just going to go back to my light peach because there's a few bits. So it was a little bit stressful, but I just said to him, can you just take it out before the silicone dries, because I don't want it that way, and if it isn't designed to open that way, I'm going to talk to the person in the showroom and get her to replace it with one, you know, she spec'd me the wrong one, sold me the wrong door. So I tried to ring her, and she's on annual leave for a week, and I was like, oh no. So he was jolly, I left him to it, he was taking the door out. He gives me a shout a bit later and says, I've managed to get it to work the way you want. I was like, hurrah! So he'd had to saw a bit off or something. I think basically there was a piece on the frame that was preventing it from opening, because the doors are only designed to open one way, because you don't want them to open inwards. So this is oxide of chrome. I'm going to do this little stalky bit. Actually, did I use that for this one? I'm sure I've used it already. I'm going to put it away. I can use a different colour, just because I want to use some different colours. I'm just looking at my list. Chrome green, no, Viridian is a bit too blue. I should be looking at it. Actually, permanent green might work. It's a bit pale, because our pumpkin's a bit paler, it might work. Let's have a go. So anyway, he got it to work just about, and I have noticed that there was a little gap in the seal on the door when it closed. I noticed this before, but it was at the top, so I thought, oh, that's fine. Now it's at the bottom, so I'm a little bit worried that it's going to leak. So yeah, and that is a design problem rather than anything he's done, but the problem is now he's cut it, I can't send it back. Ooh, so we will have to hope that it works. So I'm just hoping. Now we got this grape leaf here, but I don't know, can't remember what colour I did them before. So I'm just going to have a go at colouring it in. I don't really want it to be the same as before, but as I can't remember what I did, there's a risk that it will be. But that's okay. I'm going to grab the olive green and do the sort of stalk. Let's see them, not the stalk, the vein. Let's go down the centre here and make it dark, and up there. Follow these sort of veins around. This is not going to look good to start with. And then I want to just sort of take the colour and fade it out towards the edge. I think this is probably what I did for the others, but I can't be 100% sure. There we go. And then we want a sort of top colour. I was thinking leaf green light, but I could do cadmium green pale. I want something light. Do we have a leaf green? Oh, we have leaf green light and leaf green deep, but not leaf green. I'm going to try the permanent green, but use it lightly. I can't find it. Sorry, I am looking. Gives you a minute to catch up, doesn't it? Maybe I've used it already. Why didn't you tell me? There we go. I'm going to just use it lightly over the top. So yes, it was a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to fill that in green. I know it isn't supposed to be, but I don't want a gap here, so I'm just going to make it like that, as if it is supposed to be green. And this is a bit of leaf as well, isn't it, here? Yeah, so it turned out all for the good in the end, and I didn't get too stressed and worried about it, because father-in-law was here, so I had to just concentrate on entertaining him, really. And also the chap was trying hard. He ended up working really late. They usually finish about 4 or 3, some of them, and he was working till 6, I think. But he said he would get paid some overtime. But there was supposed to be 2 of them apparently doing the job, but the other person wasn't available. I'm just doing a few more layers really here. I see, that's a turned over bit of this leaf, and this is the end of this bit. So we probably could do a little bit of shadow under there. I'll have a play with that in a minute. I'm not being too fiddly, finicky. Okay, my son's singing upstairs. It's lovely. He's got his timetable for uni, so I'm just going to use the olive green after I've sharpened it to put a little bit of shadow in. Yeah, he's got his timetable. He's going to be in on a first thing on a Monday morning, which is a bit annoying because we usually have a 4-day weekend at the moment because husband only works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I don't have to get up on a Monday morning. Now, I don't sleep in, really. It's just not my thing. I'm going to do this corn cob before we finish, but I like the fact that I don't have to get up, rush downstairs, make everybody's breakfast, and I don't make everybody's breakfast, but I get things out ready, make everyone a drink, that sort of thing. I'm going to use the Tuscan yellow for this one. I don't remember what colours I've used for the others. And you know, get lunch boxes made and make sure everyone's ready on time and get them out the door and blah 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 blah, blah, you know, all that. And I don't have to do that on so on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I get up and make my husband a lunch box, make sure he gets out the door. Today he was so late, but anyway, it's up to him. This is Naples yellow. Because he goes in the car, then it's not so bad if he leaves late, he still gets there. But with the children, because they go on the train, then if they're late they miss their train, so it's a little bit more intense on a morning. So he's got an early morning on a Monday and he'll need a lunch box, I think, one of the day, and then on a Tuesday he's in the, no, I'm trying to remember, he hasn't sent me his timetable yet. Tuesday and Thursday he's in as well. One day he's in, both days he finishes at 5:15. So, and both days one day he's in right from early, and the other day he isn't early, but he still needs a lunch box because he has to leave before, I think he has to leave at 11:20. And because he's late, he also likes a pasta salad to eat on the train on the way home, so that he can just get home and not have to worry about eating or eating really late. Now this one's quite pale compared to these two, but I'm happy with that because I did want them all to look slightly different to each other. Now I'm thinking about these leafy bits. We want to do definitely some different colours to the ones we used for the leaf there. So let's have a little look. I'm thinking maybe that I really like the cadmium green, so I'm going to start with that. I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want it too dark, but we'll just go in and see what happens really. I'll put a layer down on, I think the leaf would be here. It sort of goes there, yeah? So I'm thinking that's a leaf. I'm looking forward to doing our other cat, but because I didn't have very long, I want to keep these videos around just over half an hour, and there wasn't time to do all of her. Not that we did all of our other cat in one video, but I thought I would leave her until next video, so she'll be the star of the show next time. So there we go. I am going to put a few more layers down here where we've got this sort of overlap of leaf, and here and here, look, sort of darker against the corn cob, and where they're overlapping each other and other items. It's so good in this book, you get these little lines so you can work out exactly where to put your extra colour without feeling like it's all been done for you know. And I'm going to go over those leaves in a little bit of yellow. I think the lemon might work to sort of brighten them a little bit, lighten and brighten without using green. So I felt that the colour I picked a little bit too brown, maybe. So this yellow should just help to lighten it up and to, I'm just going to sharpen it, and to sort of fill in those gaps, make it more intense, really. That's what I'm trying to say. We've got some more grapes to do, got some more berries. There's lots of nice little fun bits to still do, which is nice. I don't know how I'm going to colour this. I always get confused between maize and sweet corn, and I did some research and apparently they're the same thing. But when you have corn flour, I always thought that was from like a wheat type product that looks like this rather than this. But I know corn, like the flour we use to make tortilla chips, is corn flour, like maize flour. I get so confused. I looked it up and I ended up more confused than when I didn't. And I think I looked it up, it said maize was the name that in the UK we use for every type of item that makes flour, like wheat or oats or anything that's grown to be ground into flour. We used to call it maize. So I was like, really? I thought maize was just like corn. So who knows? Language is fun, isn't it? But we're going to finish there. So we've done, we finished the cat. I like his little tunic and sleeves. She's got her lovely little dress on. I haven't thought about colour. I'm thinking we need to stick with the sort of autumnal theme colours, I think. Although we've got some sort of pinkish red. I don't want her to be like, I feel like it might be a sort of sackcloth or calico, something pale. I don't necessarily mean pale, I mean not like, it's not going to be like fuchsia pink or, you know, or a deep blue. Blue's not going to work with this page anyway. I mean, he's got blue eyes, but so I'm going to give that a little bit of thought, and I'm going to give her green eyes, I've decided, but we'll get round to doing that next time. But thank you for watching today. Please do like and subscribe. I did have someone say they couldn't work out how to like my video. I'm not sure why. I know most of you know there's the thumbs up or whatever, you just click. I'm not sure whether that had somehow vanished or something, but I don't know. It's hard for me to, I can't give technical support because I'm not really that way inclined, but I might be able to help. You know, always ask, I can try. But anyway, if you can, please like anyway, and have a super day. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you. No, I won't hear you. Hopefully you'll join me next time. Happy colouring!